In Eating for Beauty, David compares the energy of raw and non-raw foods using images produced with Kirlian photography, a technique that some say can show the energy field or aura of an object.
I decided that I wanted to do some analysis of raw food versus cooked food, semi-cooked food, say steamed food versus raw food, and see if there was a difference in the Kirlian aura. And that was all put into my book here, Eating for Beauty. And this book has been, I think, a great success because we can see pictures of what raw food looks like, beautiful composite images of brilliant amounts of energy, and then we can also see pictures of what cooked food looks like and how it's different. For example, here, this is the raw food, this is the cooked food, and we can see that the imagery has been dulled down and the Kirlian field, the light has been lost. And that is really important for us in the West and the East to see it visually, because we're a film culture worldwide. We like films because it's visual and it's entertaining, and that's why I wanted to put that in this book. And actually I have Kirlian imagery in most of my books for that reason. I like my books to be three-dimensional, that you read something, you get to look at pictures, there's a little bit of poetry in there, it's designed in a way that's comfortable to the eye, so that people get inspired and that they want to actually maybe dig a little bit deeper into this information.
And you had a hand there. There was a hand of a raw food person as opposed to a hand of a non-raw food person.
Of a junk food eater.
Yeah, and so what was the difference there?
Well, we saw in that image that actually the raw food person had aura and glow and radiance, and that the junk food person, their aura had been dulled down almost to the point of invisibility. So this is the reason why people don't see auras, because actually their aura isn't very bright because of the way we've dulled ourselves down with this toxic food and food that is not natural.
The prestigious Mayo Clinic in the U.S. recommends we drink about 2 liters of water a day to remain properly hydrated. David believes the quality of the water we drink is just as important as how much we drink.
I'm a student of water because you have to be in order to really be healthy. You've got to really get your body hydrated, and nature's solution to pollution is dilution. Great phrase. Nature's solution to pollution is dilution. And if we don't get filters on our water, we're going to become a filter. Very important phrase. If we don't get the filters on our water, we're going to become a filter. But I will not drink any filtered water. I'll wash my dishes in it. I'll wash my clothes in filtered water, but I won't actually drink it. The water that I've learned to drink over the years that connects us immediately to our higher self and is really truly spiritual in every sense of the word is high mountain spring water coming out of the great springs of the great mountain ranges of the world. And I go to those places preferentially. When you drink it, all of a sudden you feel this influx of light come into your body. I encourage people all over the world to seek out the local mountain springs and test it out for yourself. Find what the experience is to drink water the way the earth intended us to drink it. Find out what the yogis have been onto all these years and the great Taoist masters have been onto all these years, which is they're not down at the bottom of the valley drinking the water in the creek. They're up there underneath the glacier. They're up there in the mountain springs drinking that water because that's where we connect to that level of purity and that level of perfection that water embodies. You will find that the longest lived people live up high up in the mountains, and therefore they're automatically drinking that spring water. Maybe it's been in the creek for 1,000 meters or something, or maybe they're right up at the source drinking it, but they're drinking it from a place that's pure, that's uncontaminated, and relatively still in its original natural state. That is a gift to humanity. I believe from my experience doing muscle testing and kinesiology that actually spring water is the highest emanation of love in the physical manifest form that we can actually ingest.
Most of us like to go outdoors and breathe in fresh air, as it helps us to relax and recharge. David Wolfe has some recommendations on how to reconnect with nature to bring peace of mind.
This is really an important discovery in science in the last 10 years, that by wearing shoes, we're actually wearing a rubber sole. And that rubber sole is an insulator. It disconnects us from the electricity of the earth. What's been found, and this was actually discovered about 100 years ago, is that the earth itself is negatively charged and the atmosphere is positively charged. And when those charges build up, that's when we have lightning. That's the lightning strike. That's the thunderstorm. We can participate in the natural electricity of this earth and get it for free every time we go barefoot, which means that we can actually get free electricity, free alkalinity that can help neutralize acidity and neutralize oxidation every time we go barefoot, every time we swim in the ocean, every time we swim in a lake, every time we walk down a path in the forest barefoot. And this, from a mathematical perspective, is helping us to collapse a bunch of the electromagnetic pollution that we're exposed to. We collapse those waveforms right into the earth, which can absorb it. That's what grounding is. It's taking electricity, aberrant electricity, and grounding it and discharging it off of us. Now, from a meditation perspective, I always love the great yogi books about meditation. One of the things they differentiate in these books is meditating in a forest versus meditating in a city. We know that in a city there's a lot of aberrant, not only radio waves and Wi-Fi and cell phone, but also thought forms. And therefore you have to sit there for a while to finally let that go. It might even take hours. But when you meditate on the soil, on the beach, in a forest, you actually directly connect to the purity of that environment, and you discharge all that weird stuff in our mind quicker, maybe in minutes instead of hours. So you can go deeper, you can go further, and you also connect to the great cosmos.
And what do you do in regards to the sun? You do some sun gazing?
Sun gazing has gained tremendous popularity because it's free, it heals you, it helps you get connected to your environment, and it's available almost every day. And that means either right when the sun rises in the morning, you're out barefoot on stone, and you're watching the sunrise just in that first minute or so. And right when the sun sets, barefoot on stone, it could be sand, that's fine, or gravel, or even a road, that's fine, or cement is okay, but you've got to be barefoot, or at least touching the earth some way with your hand. So that you have a skin-to-skin connection with the earth. A tree is fine. So if let's say you're in shoes, you can't take them off, you're in a city, you can touch a tree and sun gaze as the sun is coming down. You're watching it in that last minute or so, and then eventually you work up to maybe 5 minutes when you're ready. You start out a very small amount of sun gazing, then you build up.
It's been an honour to talk to you today, and thank you very much for your time. Is there something that you'd like to say to the viewers out there?
My goal is to always inspire not only myself, but everybody to have the best day ever. God help me to create this day as the best day ever. And then what happens is you have it. And it's so incredibly synchronistic and magical that the higher power is with you. And that's why I put that phrase out there. Today is the best day ever. Say it to yourself at home over and over again. Today is going to be the best day ever. Today is the best day ever. This is the best day of my life. And watch what happens when you do that in the morning. Watch what happens to your evening, your afternoon, your lunchtime, your night out. It's transformed into pure magic.
Our appreciation, David Wolfe, for imparting rays of understanding on the natural world and wonderful advice on reconnecting ourselves to the magic of the universe. May we all absorb the bountiful, loving energies around us and bring it into our daily lives. For more details on David Wolfe, please visit www.davidwolfe.com. Books, CDs, and DVDs by Mr. Wolfe are available at www.longevitywarehouse.com. Thank you, heartwarming viewers, for your company on Healthy Living, airing every Monday on Supreme Master Television. Science and Spirituality is coming up next, after noteworthy news. May the love from the universe emanate from all beings.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/HL.